Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is an absolutely crazy day for soap news, and we are diving straight into the deep end of the latest drama unfolding in LA. Grab a snack and get comfortable because we have some massive developments to talk about regarding the future of Forrester creations and our favorite characters. Let's get right into it. So, let's just talk about the huge elephant in the room right now. We think Hope for the Future is going to be canceled. Again. Yes, you heard me right. Again. Because now the word on the street, the big spoiler that everyone is talking about, is that Hope has actually finally gone over to Logan to work. And honestly, I am still trying to wrap my head around this whole situation. Last week we saw Liam pushing and pushing for Hope to leave Forrester and go work for Katie's new fashion house. We saw Hope fighting it so hard. She wanted Brooke to take the co-CEO spot from Steffi just to protect her line. But now that everyone knows Hope is at Logan, the writing is totally on the wall for Hope for the Future. It's done. It's toast. And you know who is getting completely screwed over by this? Zende. Let's just take a minute to really look at Zende's situation because it is actually making me so mad. Zende was just promoted to lead designer for Hope for the Future. He was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to replace Thomas, who just came back last September and caused all that chaos. And Zende stepped up. He always steps up. But now, once again, he finds himself at a massive career crossroads. And it's so frustrating to watch as a fan who has been following this show for years. Why do the writers always do this to him? What were they thinking giving him the promotion just to pull the rug out from under him a few episodes later? I mean, think about his history on the show. Zende is always the backup plan. He's always the guy waiting in the wings. Thomas goes crazy. Give it to Zende. Thomas gets redeemed. Push Zende to the back of the design room. And now Thomas is gone. Zende finally gets the big chair. He finally gets the title of lead designer for HFTF, and boom! The whole line gets canceled because Hope defects to her Aunt Katie's new company. It's honestly a joke at this point. How much more can one character take before they just snap? And let's be real about Zende's actual talent. Zende desperately wants his input and his creativity to be valued again. He's a Forrester. Even if he's adopted, he has that creative blood in him. He loves working with Ridge and Eric. He really does. But his passion? His real passion is ready-to-wear clothing. He loves the accessible fashion, the stuff that Hope for the Future was all about. He doesn't want to just sit in the main office doing haute couture all day long. Haute couture is great. It's what Forrester is known for. But Zende likes the fast-paced, trendy, ready-to-wear lines. So, without HFTF, what is he supposed to do? Hem Ridge's evening gowns? No thanks. He wants his voice to be heard, and haute couture just isn't his main thing. But here is the real kicker. The thing that is probably driving Zende absolutely crazy right now. R.J. Forrester. R.J. is suddenly getting all this attention. He is the golden boy. He's Ridge and Brooke's son, so of course he gets the royal treatment. But it's so annoying. R.J. has been spending all his time lately getting into physical scuffles with Will Spencer over Elektra, acting all tough and channeling his inner Massimo Marone. But somehow, despite all his personal drama and love quadrangle mess, R.J. is the one being pushed to the front of the line at Forrester. He is getting the spotlight. The nepotism is just glaring right now. So Zende is probably sitting there watching this young kid who, let's be honest, hasn't put in half the years or the work that Zende has. Just waltz in and get all the glory. Zende could totally be pushed out by R.J. And maybe I'm being too harsh on R.J. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. R.J. is the shiny new toy for Ridge and Brooke. Zende is just Zende. Reliable, boring Zende in the eyes of the executives. If HFTF is canceled, Steffi and Ridge aren't going to create a whole new line just for Zende. They are going to focus on the core Forrester lines, and they are going to focus on J's future. J is the one they are grooming for the top spot, which brings us to the biggest question of the day. Is this the end of Zende at Forrester Creations? Could this actually be it? I honestly think it might be. If you were Zende, why would you stay? Your line is dead. Your boss left. Your younger cousin is stealing all the attention. You are basically a glorified intern at this point if you don't have your own collection to run. So what is the logical next step? What does a talented designer do when his own family company sidelines him for the 100th time? He has to go to Logan. He just has to. Will Zende reach out to Hope and Katie and ask for a job at Logan? Yes. Absolutely, yes. It makes too much sense. Katie is trying to build this massive new fashion house. She already poached Hope, which we know is going to cause a massive, ugly family feud with Brooke. Donna already warned Katie that taking Hope was a declaration of war. But imagine if Katie takes Hope and Zende? That would be the ultimate slap in the face to Forrester Creations. It would be an absolute game changer for the entire fashion industry in Los Angeles. And you guys, think about how amazing that would be for the storyline. We need a real fashion war. We haven't had a good cutthroat fashion rivalry in so long. If Logan has Hope as the face and the brand ambassador, and they bring in Zende as the lead designer, they instantly have a ready-to-wear dream team. Zende already knows how to design for Hope. They have a proven track record. They know what the younger demographic wants. Katie would be an absolute fool not to snatch Zende up the second she hears that HFTF is canceled. She needs talent, and Zende is sitting right there, completely underappreciated by Ridge and Steffi. But how would Ridge react? Oh man, Ridge would lose his mind. He's already uncomfortable with Brooke trying to seduce him into giving her Steffi's co-CEO spot. He is already stressed out. If he loses Hope, and then he loses Zende to a rival company run by Katie, Ridge would explode. And Steffi? Steffi is already dealing with the whole Ivy and Elektra nightmare. Plus, she's about to find out Brooke is trying to steal her job. If Steffi finds out Zende defected to Logan, she might just lock the doors of the building and never let anyone out again. The betrayal would be too much for the Forresters to handle, and I kind of want to see it happen. I really do. I want Zende to get a backbone and say, you know what? I'm done being second best. I want him to march over to Logan, sign a massive contract with Katie, and become the star designer he deserves to be. Sometimes I second guess myself and think, well, Zende is loyal to Eric. Eric is his grandfather. Would he really betray Eric like that? But then I remember how many times Eric and Ridge have passed Zende over for Thomas or J. Loyalty has to go both ways. And right now, Forrester is not being loyal to Zende's talent. Eric might be heartbroken, but even he would have to admit that Zende needs to spread his wings. So yeah, the cancellation of Hope for the future is a tragedy for the fans of the line, but it might be the best thing to ever happen to Zende's character. It forces him out of his comfort zone. It forces him to make a move. He can't just hide behind the HFTF label at Forrester anymore. He has to step out and prove himself. And doing it at a brand new startup like Logan, alongside Hope, is the perfect way to do it. It gives him a fresh start away from all the Forrester family politics that always seem to hold him back. Plus, let's talk about the dynamic between Zende and Hope for a second. They have always had this really interesting mutual respect. They aren't bogged down by all the heavy, toxic romantic history that Hope has with Thomas. When Thomas was designing for HFTF, it was always messy. It was always, is he obsessed with her again? Or are they going to sleep together? With Zende, it's just pure professional respect. Well, mostly. But it's so much cleaner. Hope needs a designer she can trust right now. especially if she is taking this massive risk by leaving her family's company to work for Katie. She needs a rock. Zende is that rock. They work so well together because they actually listen to each other. And what about Liam in all of this? Liam is probably doing a victory dance right now. He wanted Hope away from Steffi's mistreatment so badly. He was terrified she was going to make a mistake and stay at Forrester. Now that she is at Logan, Liam is going to be hovering around, trying to manage everything. But if Zende comes over, Liam is going to have to deal with another male designer in Hope's orbit. Liam is always suspicious, always jealous. Even though Zende is a good guy, Liam will probably find a way to complain about him too. That's just what Liam does. He can never just let Hope be happy and successful without injecting his own insecurities into the mix. Honestly, the writers have handed themselves a gold mine with this setup. The fall of Hope for the future shouldn't just be a footnote. It needs to be the catalyst for a massive shift in the show's landscape. J can have Forrester. Let him and Electra and Will fight over the scraps of whatever Ivy left behind. Let Steffi and Brooke tear each other apart over the co-CEO chair. But let Zende and Hope build something new and exciting at Logan. It would give us a completely fresh dynamic to watch every week instead of the same old arguments in the same old Forrester CEO office. It just makes me so anxious waiting to see how they actually write this. Because, they could easily just drop the ball. They could just have Zende fade into the background, standing next to a mannequin for the next 6 months without saying a word. Who actually believes they will give him a front and center storyline? I want to believe it, but I've been burned before. But if they follow the logical path, Zende's exit from Forrester is the only thing that makes sense. It is the only way to salvage his character and give him the respect he has been begging for since he returned to LA. So what do you guys think? Is this really the end of Zende's career at Forrester Creations? Is J going to completely replace him as the resident young designer? And do you want to see Zende follow Hope over to Logan and team up with Katie? I feel like I've been talking in circles a bit, but there is just so much to unpack here. It's a messy situation, it's a complicated situation, but it is exactly the kind of drama we love to see.
What do you guys think about today's drama?
Let me know your thoughts.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
I am going to be stressing over this until the next episode airs.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for your daily dose of bold and beautiful news. See you in the next video.